Heading into this year's Super Bowl, we get to watch the best team in the AFC take on the best team in the NFC. The Eagles dominated the regular season. Jalen Hurts had by far the best year of his career. Their defense was one of the best in the NFL, and their roster from top to bottom was only comparable with that of the 49ers. On the other side of the field, you have the Kansas City Chiefs, who have the best quarterback in the NFL in Patrick Mahomes. They have the most productive offense in the NFL. They have one of the best tight ends in NFL history, and they have, right now, the best coach in the NFL, Andy Reid. The Chiefs also have all of the playoff experience on their side. They've been to 5 straight conference championships. This is now their 3rd Super Bowl over the last 5 seasons, and I will not be shocked if Patrick Mahomes throws for 400 yards, 5 touchdowns, with the Chiefs winning in relatively convincing fashion. With how good the Eagles are, I won't be surprised if Hassan Reddick gets things going, has 2 sacks, and the Eagles control the game on the ground, giving them the ability to win. With that being said, I want to rank the 10 best players in this year's Super Bowl. At number 10, this is kind of a cop-out. I have the totality of the Eagles' offensive line. Jason Kelce, Jordan Mailata, Lane Johnson. They're all great. They've been dominant all season long. Lane Johnson, playing through an injury, has been one of the best right tackles, if not the best in the NFL this season. They're 12th in the NFL in team pass block win rate and 2nd in the NFL in team run block win rate, which is really important when you run the ball as much as they do. You can probably make the argument some of these players are better at their position than other players I've higher than them on this list, but I just wanted to include them as an entire group right here at number 10. At number 9, I have James Bradberry, who's a phenomenal addition to the Eagles secondary this past offseason. The Eagles were able to steal him from the Giants because Dave Gettleman is just a cap genius and ruined the Giants' cap situation, had to cut him, and he has been excellent paired next to Big Play Slay. He's made plays all season long. I'm not going to say he's been perfect, but he has been great. One of the better cornerbacks in the NFL. I'm not going to say best, but I've really liked what he's done, and I think if they didn't have him, the Eagles defense wouldn't be nearly as good. At number 8, I have James Bradberry's partner, Big Play Slay. He has been the slightly better corner. He's their number 1 corner. He sometimes follows receivers. He gets the job done. Now, I know some people will point out plays where he's gotten burnt. They'll point out plays where he hasn't been that great. He's the best corner on their team. He's the best member of their secondary. He comes in at number 8 on my list. Has there been some plays he's given up? Yes, but he's still a great player. At number 7, I have Devonta Smith, who I think has really come into his own this season. I think he's shown a lot of improvement when you look at him compared to his rookie year. Yes, AJ Brown has helped him, but he's still making phenomenal catches week in and week out. He made the most important catch, I think, last week against the 49ers. If he does not make that catch, I know it's not technically a catch, still counted as a catch on the stat sheet, early in the game, I don't think that momentum fully swings the Eagles' way. Maybe the 49ers get things rolling. Maybe Brock Purdy never injures his elbow, and the 49ers walk away with that win. So in my opinion, even though it happened early in the game, that was the turning point. Devonta Smith made that happen. He hurried the team up, and he's very smart football player, very good route runner, has very good hands. I wouldn't say he's a top 10 receiver quite yet, but he's definitely established himself as a number 1 receiver or capable of that if he was asked to do that for the Eagles. Coming in at number 6, we have the man that absolutely ruined the 49ers season by taking Brock Purdy out of the game. That is Hassan Reddick. He has been a dominant force all season long, and I don't think people really even recognize how good he's been because he doesn't have the same name recognition as a Myles Garrett, as a TJ Watt, or some of the other big name elite pass rushers around the NFL. He also helped the Eagles have the most sacks by any team in the NFL. He has been the leader of this defense. He's the best player on the Eagles defense. He's the 6th best player in this year's Super Bowl. At number 5, this may be a controversial pick to some because the Eagles fans will go around and say, oh, this is too low. Jalen Hurts is him. He is that guy. And then the other group of people who think Jalen Hurts is a running back and think he's not a capable quarterback are going to be offended I even put Jalen Hurts in the top 10. But at the end of the day, he is a very good quarterback and has proven it this season. The jump we've seen from his first year to his second year to his third year, he is a top 5 guy in my opinion from what we've seen. It is impressive. He made a 5% jump in completion percentage and made over a 14-point jump in quarterback rating. That is incredible improvement, and that doesn't even include his rushing production. He was the best running quarterback in the NFL this year. 760 rushing yards, 13 rushing touchdowns. He got it done through the air and on the ground. After After this year, I'm convinced he's a good quarterback. The only reason I don't have him higher on this list is it is only 1 year. We need to see him do it year in and year out, have production over multiple years rather than just this season. It is also true, it makes it way easier to be productive when you have 2 number 1 receivers, a good tight end, a good running back, and one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. So that does contribute somewhat to the jump in statistical production he's experienced. I'm excited to see how he's able to do in this year's Super Bowl. Hopefully that shoulder injury doesn't come too much into account. My 4th best player in this year's Super Bowl is AJ Brown. AJ Brown is one of the most elite receivers in the NFL. In my opinion, when it comes to the top 5 to 7 guys in the NFL at wide receiver, you can pick any one of them and they'll do big things for your offense. AJ Brown is that guy. He's one of the most physically dominant receivers in the NFL. He's some of the best hands in the NFL, and he can do everything you want a receiver to do at a high level. I'm a big fan of what AJ Brown does at the wide receiver position, and I think he is the best player on the Eagles, which is maybe a bit of a spoiler for my next 3 picks. Obviously, Jalen Hurts is more important because he plays quarterback, and maybe Hassan Reddick is more important because he's an edge and rushes the passer, but when it comes to best at their position, I think AJ Brown is better at wide receiver than Jalen Hurts as quarterback or Hassan Reddick is at rushing a passer. At number 3, I have Chris Jones, who is the sole reason the Chiefs defense is competent this year. He has had an Aaron Donald-esque season as an interior defensive lineman and as an interior pass rusher. He has 15.5 sacks as a defensive tackle. That is incredible, and that is not something we see that often. He finished with the 4th most sacks in the NFL this year. Outside of what Patrick Mahomes did on the offensive side of the ball against the Bengals, Chris Jones is the reason the Bengals' high-flying offense wasn't able to put up enough points to beat the Chiefs. Chris Jones has always been a great player. This year, he's getting Defensive Player of the Year consideration, and in my opinion, he's better than any other player on the Eagles team, and I think is the reason this Chiefs defense is as good as it is. The top 2 on this list, I think, are self-explanatory to everyone. Travis Kelce is the most productive tight end in the NFL. When the Chiefs need a big touchdown, when the Chiefs need a big play, Travis Kelce is there to get the job done. He was by far the most productive tight end in the NFL this season. No one came even close, and he's one of the best tight ends in NFL history when it comes to statistical production. The only reason I have him at 2 on this list is because Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is by far the best quarterback in the NFL, which I think was cemented when the Bills fell apart against the Bengals and Joe Burrow wilted against the Chiefs defense while Patrick Mahomes outplayed Joe Burrow on a bum ankle. He led the NFL in passing touchdowns, he led the NFL in passing yards, and is the best player in this year's Super Bowl. If Patrick Mahomes plays to his highest level, I fully expect the Chiefs to win. And if the Chiefs are losing at any point during the game, we know Patrick Mahomes is capable of making a comeback. It doesn't matter if it's a 2-score lead. He led a comeback against the 49ers to win that Super Bowl. Once again, I think the Chiefs wind up winning this game if Mahomes plays to the best of his ability. These are how I would rank the 10 best players in this year's Super Bowl. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Subscribe to our channel. It helps us a lot. Like the video, and we will see you in our next one.